Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another exciting episode of Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu. I am your co-host, TMD. It's been an exciting weekend. Kish, you were in the East Coast. You were back. Welcome back. How was it?
Well, it's work as usual.
Yeah.
Went out there and flew out to Syracuse, New York. Got there. My morning started here on a Friday. 9 a.m. out of LAX. You already know what time.
Blind man.
Blind
Come
man,
on now.
exactly.
Come on now.
4 a.m. wake-up call, got to LAX, as crazy as always, and then jumped the flight. I had to go 3 stops. Had no idea to get into Syracuse, New York. It's like a small place.
Okay.
And so, you know me, I'm always up front first class. But at this time here, you got to take what's available because you definitely want to, miss the appearance. So long story short, I had 3 connections. I left 9 a.m., finally got into Syracuse at midnight, past midnight.
Wow.
And so, it was cold. I met up with the crew back there, the hideout crew, Steve Duckett's staff that always takes care of Big Kish when I come out towards the East Coast.
Right.
And, so checked in a hotel. Man, I was starving, man. Didn't get nothing to eat. I can't. Let me tell you guys something. Inside,
What's that?
So when Big Kish, like when I travel, I try not to eat, because, trying to 400 pounds into the bathroom on the aircraft, it's kind of very, uncomfortable, difficult situation. If you understand what I'm saying.
I'm picking up what you're laying
down. You see what I mean? And
yes,
so
sir.
it's that. So, by the time I got there and tried to find a place to eat, it was Burger King for me. You can never go wrong with a double Whopper with cheese, extra mayo. I got the onion ring and I got the late night Coca-Cola, large Coca-Cola. And then my day started the next morning. So I was there, did an autograph signing. Big shout out to Syracuse. The people over there at New Hartford, New York. They all came out to an appearance I had out there. It was strong. I posted it up on my Instagram. Then after that, I drove, I believe it was about an hour and 45 minutes to Albany, New York.
Okay.
Because I had an appearance to sign the next following morning from noon to 4 p.m. at the Hideouts store over there. It's in the mall, Crossroads Mall out there. And so it was a good turnout there, too, as well. My Funko Pop, since the Funko Pop came out, Joey, like, it's been mad crazy. Like, a lot of my bookings has really up because of this, this Funko Pop that's been out. It's my first one, and people are wanting to get them signed and so forth. So it's good for me, good for the fans, and I just need to, late night, early flights. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like Gang Grill would always say, and just trying to adapt to that still. I feel like I got a WWE schedule now. I'm out every 3 weeks out of the month, you know what I mean? And 1 week for me to kind of, recharge, it just doesn't do it. So I just want to send a big, big shout out to all of the fans that came out there, showed out and showed love for Big Kishi. So give me a big yeet for the fans out there.
Yep. Everybody knows you're a bad man, and everybody knows you're a busy man. And I tell you what, we had a feature on the last show that was a hit, smash out of the park. We had callers calling in, and you know what? We're not going to waste any time, Big Kish. We're going to get to our first caller of the show tonight. Who we got up next? Once again, welcome Tyler to Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu. Tyler, how you doing? Where are you from?
Scranton, PA.
Awesome. What is your question? You are on Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu.
I just want to say it's an honor to be on the Off the Top podcast with Rikishi. Put your ones up.
Thank you. Give me a yeet. Hey, give me the yeet. Hey, did you buy my latest Funko Pop?
Oh, I'm trying to.
My goodness, they're only $30 at the exclusive at Target. So why aren't you over there? Everybody has a Target there, don't he?
Yeah, but not everyone has it, Rikishi.
Everyone what?
Not everyone has it.
Oh, come on, dude. I'm sure you got you a nice hottie that loves you a lot, right?
Oh,
Don't
yeah,
Don't you got a hottie? What's your hottie's name? Let's give her a shout out, dude. Let's give her a shout. What's your hottie's name?
Not exclusively.
You a Godfather type of tip, right? You like a pimp, aren't you?
Yeah, I wanted to
We're gonna get
ask
you
you
in
how
trouble.
you felt with Solo joining Tamatanga. Like you joined Haku. Like it's like the same thing, like kind of like a father son kind of bonding kind of thing.
Yeah. So what do you think about that?
I think it's great.
Yeah. You think Tamatanga is a good, excellent addition to the bloodline?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, I'll tell you something.
I
I know
heard
that. I know.
about Jacob too.
Yeah, Jacob's gonna be a beast. But let me give you insight about that Tamatanga guy. Right. So I know him since he was a baby, young. Right. So we all know the history of his father. He's one of the baddest, toughest guy in the industry that'll really rip off your nose, rip your ears off, probably throw it on a barbecue grill, and eat it if he wanted to. That's how tough Haku is. And Tamatonga, boy, he's pretty tough. When I say pretty tough, the dude's handsome. I mean, look at he's got a body like a God, right? Ooh. But inside, man, that dude, boy, is just that dark black heart in there. That dark Tongan heart that's ready to just, hit you with the spike if he had to. So if I was anybody in the WWE, I would say TMD. I would say in the WWE that they need to look out.
He looks like a beast.
They need to look out and watch out for Tamatonga. Because the Tonga man is coming.
Yeah. What do you think about Roman Reigns joining the Jordan line?
Joining whose line?
The Jordans. He's got his own shoes. Nike made the shoes.
Jesus, you just messed up
my
have
his own line.
I was trying to have him say it. So the Roman Reigns has a what now?
The Michael Jordan line. You don't
what's the research on that?
Official,
how much?
Shoes
how much is the shoes?
And clothes and stuff like that.
How much is the shoes?
I have no idea. It's not even out yet.
Oh,
but I heard that's the rumor that it will be. I wonder what that's going to be on.
Well, you already know, man. Anything that's got Reigns' name on there or wherever Reigns is at is all money, right?
Yeah, but what do you think? Would that be a Foot Locker collab or something?
I think we're going to eat steak and lobster for the rest of our lives. And our grandkids going to eat for the rest of their lives. That's what I think. You know what I mean? So it's going to be all good. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be one of those yeet moments. Give it to me.
Yeet.
All right, dog. You go ahead and, thank you for calling through, man. And in the meantime, keep it locked on Rikishi Fatu off the top. You have a good one, my man.
You too.
All
every
right.
week.
Who else do we got here now?
We got Cory up next. Cory, you are on Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu. How you doing?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. How are you, Cory? What's your name?
I'm doing great.
Cory, are you calling me from your living room or in the bedroom? Where the hell are you, Cory?
I'm from my own room.
You're calling from your own room. Do you pay rent there, Cory? Or are you a grown adult living with your parents still? What are you, 38?
I'm 25.
Oh, you're 25. You're still a young buck, buddy. What's happening? Yeah. Why are you why am I whispering to you?
You sound fine. You sound great.
Because he's got a soft voice. Not like
Cory.
How are you doing, Cory? Cory, how are you? How are you, Cory? All right, Cory, where are you from?
I'm from Hayward, California.
Right.
Wow, Bay Area.
The Bay.
Okay.
Big shout out to Hayward. We got a lot of our listeners out there. So what's happening, bro?
So I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Do you think right now, is there anyone in wrestling that you feel deserves a stink face? Is there someone in wrestling right now, currently in WWE, that deserves a stink face?
Yeah.
Who would it be?
What do you think, TMD? That's a tough question.
That is.
You know what I mean?
That is a very tough question. That's a good one. I don't know. Who do you think, Cory?
We need that Jeopardy soundtrack
I
right
think,
now.
Personally, I think it would be Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic Mysterio.
That's how he treats his father. You know.
Yeah.
Rey Mysterio. I mean, I think that's pretty messed up.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. I would probably pull out the thong that I never take out the Ziploc bag. You know that thong, right? I always talk about it. The one that just reaps. Like, I mean, it's sitting inside the Ziploc bag, but the Ziploc bag it's like melting like it's in a volcano. That type of heat. I would pull that damn thong out and just probably every single person that the WWE Universe dislikes, including some of my family members, I would probably hit them with the stanky face.
Oh.
Yeah, I'd hit him you'd be happy if I hit him with the stanky face.
If I honestly, I feel like I would change my stance on a lot of things if I get hit with a stanky face. Bro.
Yeah. Now, honestly, if I were to give you $1 million, would you let me stink face you?
That's a long pause. That's a long pause.
So you already answered that.
Yeah, right.
You would, right.
For $1 million? For $1 million?
Yeah, for $1 million, would you let Kishi stink face you? That's the question.
I'll take the $1 million.
I've been having bad. Dude, I just farted. I just farted again.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, never mind.
Oh. Damn, let me get my shit off her. Damn.
All right, I already know. Right, TMD?
He told on himself. Right. Yes.
That's still $1 million.
All right, man.
That's still $1 million.
All right, yeah.
I'll take it.
All right. Well, thank you for calling through, man. Keep it locked, man.
Right
we know
on,
that
Cory.
You're a sellout, Cory. You would take the stink face for $1 million.
All right.
All right, keep it locked.
We got another caller, Big Kish.
Well, come on. Let's do it.
All right. Matthew, you are on Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu. State where you're from and your question.
Yeah, city and state. Shout out. Matthew?
Hey.
Matthew.
Hey there, how you doing?
Hey, Matthew, how you doing? Anybody ever told you sound like Scotty Too Hottie?
No.
Matthew, answer the question.
No, they did not.
I'm going to have to hit you with the worm. Matthew, where are you?
I've never heard that.
Okay, you sound like, I want you to go back and listen to some of Scotty Too Hottie's promo, and then you let me know. You sound just like Scotty Too Hottie. All right.
Okay, I'll do that.
All right. So what's your question?
Yeah, my question was regarding Unforgiven in 2002. When you ribbed Eric Bischoff along with Stephanie McMahon, I know that she was head writer at the time.
Yeah.
Was that her idea to kind of like rub it in his face?
How did you know that, Scotty?
Well, it's on the internet. Like everything's on the internet.
Oh, do you believe everything you read on the internet?
No.
I know. So how do I answer a question that's not even a valid, like it's not even really true then?
Yeah, I was just wondering if it was her idea.
Well, how about we talk about my thong? Because I had a real stinky thong on that day. I think that's more important. Especially when you're giving a guy like Eric Bischoff the stink face. There was a lot of wrestlers that probably didn't like Eric Bischoff. And I happened to be the guy that came out there and just backed that stinky thong on him. And I'm sure all the fans loved it, like you did, right?
Yep, it was hilarious.
Okay, so I want to ask you a question. If I give you $1 million, would you let me stink face you?
For $1 million.
For $1 million. 1 second. Hold on, I just farted. I'm sorry, I just farted, Scotty. Okay, so answer the question. Would you let me stink face you for $1 million?
$1 million, yes. $1 million.
$1 million, yes.
I mean, I can't say no to $1 million. That's right.
See, I told you, JMD.
Yep, there it is.
I knew my buttocks had some type of value.
Everyone has got a price.
I knew Kishi's buttocks. It has a value.
Yeah.
Right? I've been saying that all along.
Yeah.
You know, all this time I was looking for the right gimmick. It was right behind
you. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Right? Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. But you know what? For $1 million?
You just got to take it.
Well, how would you take the stink face? Would you take it like, I mean, I'm not the one taking the stink face. You are. hold on 1 second. We got the
Drink
master is coming up with a drink here.
This is a new creation.
What is this called?
Okay.
This one's called the Turnbuckle.
Scotty.
The turnbuckle.
Hey, Scotty. Thank you. Thank you for calling through, man. All right. I hope I answered your question, and now I know that you really made me feel better now that, my ass has some type of value. Thank you. You're the best. Okay? Thank you. Talk to you later.
What's his name?
Scotty Too Hottie. Manuel. Well, that's what he sounds like. He sounds like Scotty. I'm sorry.
Man,
you asking questions
these
about
phone
me.
lines are they're popping. They're there.
Yeah, but
they're popping.
Asking me questions like them, some kind of emotional questions they're asking. It really touches me, like right here.
I can tell. I can tell. It's making you pass gas. You know what? We have Carly waiting from last week. She was the one that gave you that loaded question. And by the way, Big Kish, there was a lot of
This is
interaction.
delicious.
People commenting on the teasers on Instagram.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people saying they want to see you back in the wise man role. Like there was a lot of positive interaction.
Yeah.
So let's just keep it rolling. We got more phone calls. I tell you what, let's take one quick commercial and we'll be back with Carly, right?
Yeah.
All right, folks, we'll be right back with more Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu.
Don't go nowhere, Carly.
Yay!
There it is.
Rikishi Fatu, Off the Top. We coming right back.
And we are back with more Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu. And on the line, we have got Carly. Carly, welcome back. You are on Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu.
Oh, yay.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, what's happening, Carly? What's the word?
Oh, not much. Just another beautiful night here in Iowa.
Okay.
Awesome. What is your question, Carly?
So, I'm gonna change direction from where I went last week. Basically, Rikishi, I want to know, now that we're in the era of Triple H, what are you hoping to see? What changes are you hoping to see going forward under this new leadership, this new era?
That's a very good question. You know what? For the new era, that's exactly the key word, new era. I would love to see a lot of the new faces from NXT step up to the main show. And I would love to see them get give a chance or give an opportunity to be able to be, one of the main players on the top show, be it Raw or SmackDown. Nothing against a lot of guys, the talent that's been up there for a minute. But I feel like it's time to kind of clean house. I would want to keep my main player that's drawing money there. My main player that's generating, TKO and WWE, revenue, because that's what we're looking at. So, and it also gives opportunity to a lot of these newcomers that come through. It should give them that fire to be able to want to reach out and grab that opportunity. Like it's all wide open field now. And so at the end of the day, from experience, I know that we're always, the company's always looking for new talent. And we're always looking for, what they say, that next big thing. And, for as long as, the Bloodlines is up there in that seat, it's going to be very hard to compete. And, you got Cody Rhodes and, on the babyface side, and, we got Roman, who's been gone since WrestleMania. And, he left as a heel. He left as a bad guy. But as you can see with the promos of one of the Bloodline members of Solo Sikoa with the Wise Man, you can hear the fans behind the scene on live TV yelling for Roman's name. Now here's a guy that left as a bad guy, but now the fans are wanting him to come back, return as a good guy, babyface. So my point is this, that utilize the bloodline as a lesson for a lot of the talent that's coming up. Utilize what they've been to holding it down for 4+ years, back-to-back WrestleMania. I mean, if you ask me how I feel, well, damn it, I feel great. I have the right to brag about my family. I have a right to brag about the dynasty, the Samoan dynasty, the bloodline, every and any of our bloodline that's coming through. But we're not done yet. We are absolutely not done. You know, you need to look out for Jacob Fatu, who's trending right now, trending all over Google. You got Tamatonga, who's trending as well. And so at the end of the day, the Polynesian boys is doing what only they can do, and that's put asses in seats.
The Samoan dynasty is never, ever going away, and I am 100% here for it.
Yeah, I mean,
greatest wrestling family of all time, honestly.
Let me ask you a question. Why do you think that the Samoan dynasty family is never going away? Why do you think that?
The Samoan dynasty, to me, is just like power, strength, resiliency, never giving up. And
power and
seeing
strength.
that through all these years, you know, and continuing today.
Yep.
That's something that I feel I can relate to in my own little corner of the world.
Yes,
and so I watch, you know, I watched you, and now I watch your boys. I watch Roman. I watched everyone now, then, and forever, if you excuse the pun, you know. Yeah. But it's like I can relate to that because that's what I feel like the Samoan dynasty means.
Okay. Well, listen, Carly, you know, thank you. I appreciate those kind words, but, you know, what you're saying there is it's not because you're being kind. It's all facts. You know what you're telling me is exactly who we are. Power, strength, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to thank you for calling through. Thank you for being a huge fan of the Kish Off the Top podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, big shout out to Carly for calling through. You take care of yourself, okay?
Yeet.
All right, give me a yeet. Give me a yeet for Carly. Yeet. All right, here we go. Thank you.
All right, Big Kish talking about the bloodline. Okay, so we all saw it. Solo Sikoa, he came out. Sikoa with a whole new vibe. He looked like people were saying
he looked sharp.
Yes. So he didn't. And I saw quote unquote. Forgive me for the term, but they were saying that he went from looking like a lackey to the boss, and we're talking Suge Knight vibes.
Right.
He came out looking gangster. So it looks like he is going to fight for that tribal chief position and that label. And like you just said it right there with Carly, Roman Reigns, he went out a heel, but it's looking like he's going to come back a babyface and bigger and badder and stronger than ever. And just from what I'm seeing and just knowing, you know, a little bit about the wrestling business, Solo's going to have his own bloodline.
Yeah.
We already see Tama and, of course, Roman. I'm guessing, hopefully, you know, the twins, which then would open up the spot for Jacob Fatu to slide in. And it looks like we're going to have somewhat of a civil war. What say you? What do you think about that?
I say bloodline is the timeline.
There it is.
I've been saying it for a long time. You know what I mean? Here you got the main player.
Man.
The tribal chief. Take a little break for a bit, right? But then here goes another bloodline member, steps into position, right? And you know, and now it's like, well, let's be realistic, Joey.
Yes, sir.
Let's be realistic. Mm-hmm. As soon as the man, you know, the GOAT, Roman Reigns, disappeared after WrestleMania. You know, it went from the fans not liking this cat to now the fans missing this cat, because now the fans have turned their emotions into something real as far as when they put up all the accolades of what Roman had done for the past however many years, right? You know, they grew with him. They noticed and they realized how much of, you know, character, his soul, his mind, body, and soul, his time, his sacrifice he has given to the WWE and the fans.
Yes,
late night, early fights.
There it is.
Right? And so, to be able to, to watch this promo Solo, turning into, the Suge Knight of professional wrestling. Big shout out to Solo. You look sharp there, son. But, and then to hear them not chant Cody's name, it wasn't chanting CM Punk's name, they chanting what they want to see.
Yes.
So that tells me that bloodline, timeline, but you can't take that away.
No.
You know what I mean? With so many of us, that what people buy today, tell me there's a family that don't get along. Tell me there's siblings that don't fight. It's just so natural for the world to understand that this drama feels just realistic to them. But at the end of the day, man, if it's like me and Yogo behind the scenes, you can rest assured, we bloodline, but you can rest assured our attitude amongst each other, let's get out there and do this damn thing.
Yeah.
He gonna uplift me, I'm gonna uplift him. Knowing that he drank like a gallon of Jack Daniels last night, we didn't get no damn sleep, hanging out with BSK. But when it comes time for showtime, hey, Bloodline is the timeline. I'm telling you. And so, hey, big shout out to the big Suge Solo Secor.
Man.
He looked as sharp,
Sharp dressed man.
I could definitely use one of them chain links he's got on.
Yeah,
boy.
right?
I just seen that. That looks sharp.
Major Suge Knight vibes he was putting out there.
Hey, Solo, Daddy loves you, son. Yeah.
That's right. And switching gears to Jay, he's got a title match May 4th at Backlash against Damian Priest.
I like Damian Priest. I've always liked him.
Right? Yeah. So he's dope. Did you ever, you knew your kids were going to grow up to be in the business, but did you ever think that one day you might be the father of a world heavyweight champion?
I already knew.
Yeah, really?
I already knew. I primed and prepped the kids up for opportunity. Be it in professional wrestling, it's just life in general. If y'all listening to me out there, hear me out. It's just life in general. Whenever you get an opportunity to be able to better yourself, by all means. But in this time right now, it's been a plan since coming into the business. The boys, I give, big ups to my boys. Every single one of them that's in, every single family member is out there. Because the door was open, but it's different from walking through that door and having to do your own work. You got to put in your own work.
Yes, sir.
Like the same way that I did, The Rock did, Umaga did, Yokozuna did, High Chief Peter Maivia. Rocky Soul Man Johnson, Alpha Sika. You want some more? Jimmy Superfly Snooker. We can go on and on. Like I said, Bloodline is the timeline here. And so, the plan is for the boys, you conquered tag team wrestling. Let's go ahead and just break up for a little bit. And now you can it's that dream, that to-do list for yourself as a wrestler, because you did it for the family, you did it for the tag team with your brother. Now it's your time. Let me see how far you can spread your wings out on your own. Like you in the ring, you're blowed up, you're tired. But guess what, TMB? You ain't got a partner to tag out so you can rest.
That's right.
For years, you know that you're a tag team yourself.
Now. Yes, sir.
So you got to learn all what they've learned through the industry of their training and so forth, from Booker T school to the family, lessons. Man, they were meant to be in this business. And I think, whatever else they decide to move on, because they're still young, whatever they decide to do, Jimmy, Jay, Solo, Jacob, Tamatonga, Nia Jax, you name it, Ava. Anybody else, Zilla that comes through, anybody from the bloodline, they got a big opportunity ahead of them. And they also have, they have the responsibility to uphold this legacy of 75 plus years that has been paved for the dynasty.
Wow. Once Jay wins the championship, that would make him the first Fatu with the big belt, right?
Yes, that would. Yes. It could have been Umaga when he went. I think it was that WrestleMania, right? Bob Lashley. I think it was the haircut match.
Yeah, with Donald Trump and Stone Cold.
There you go. That one right there. But, once again, we've been so much at that brass ring close, and that's just another thing that irks me a lot, and it just on the back end of it, like, this family, we can do it all.
Yes, sir.
But there's just certain times in the industry that they tend to hold us back. And, when I cut that promo like I did it for The Rock.
Great White Hope.
Yeah, the Great White Hope. Let's throw it out there, Like, we always felt like we was held back. I mean, even back in the day, when the uncles were out there and so forth. And, I don't know, maybe it's me. Maybe I think too much about it. Maybe I love this family too much, or maybe not enough. But I'm at this point in my career, I've earned the right to speak. I've earned the right to say what's on my mind about my family. I've earned that right. I've earned that right to the world, the WWE universe. I've earned that right.
Yes, sir.
I've bled. I've cried. I've did the time in this industry. I've broken bones. I've earned that right to continue to uplift our family members, the dynasty, the bloodline, that who is the top drawing WrestleMania 40 in history. Come on now. Come on. Somebody give me an amen. Amen. Come on, I'm just spitting facts out here.
You're spitting bars. Like you could have put a beat to that, Frank. You were really spitting a lot of facts. A lot of facts.
And that's what's gonna happen too. That we talking about bars.
Yep.
That's what's gonna happen with this album I got coming out.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about
every single one of that. When you hear the beat's gonna rock you. The beat's gonna make your feet move like Kish always used to move. Right? And that's what's making me get back into it. Like, and I've always loved the music of hip hop, but I'm gonna utilize my album to spit facts about my family, to spit facts about what I feel goes on in the industry that needs to be changed. Let me be that guy.
There it is.
Right?
Yeah, you were talking
Let
about.
me be him.
You were talking about a while ago how there was no Polynesian rappers on the radio. Who better than you?
Why is that? Why is that? I've never got why is it that
I honestly believe, Big Kish, because they don't have the platform you do. You're world famous, so you walking into a radio station can get your music played a lot quicker than the guys from the neighborhood that nobody knows yet. You know what I mean? So the doors will be open to you. So I think that's why it's a little bit harder for the local artists. But
yeah, but shouldn't it be shouldn't it be like it's talent?
Absolutely.
If the guy is or the female is so talented, radio station. And what does that have to do with, a person being famous to be able to, what does that do? Give your radio station a good plug that a famous guy came through there and, okay, that's when you guys would promote the music? How about, where does that open the door for some of the young artists that are trying to come out from inner cities, are trying to make it in the industry of music? Where do they fit in? How is it that they got mad skills, better skills than Kishi? How, just because Kishi has a name, it's easy for me to go through. Now, I don't give a damn whether they play my music or not. The bottom line is Kishi gonna play it all to millions of his fans regardless. But what I'm saying here is I always want to use this platform. We got to think about tomorrow. We got to think about the future. The future of this world is the kids, the new generation coming through. Let's take it on back to give them some good music, man. And, hey, radio stations throughout the world, all of them and just give them an opportunity. That's all we want.
That brings me to May 18th, the Major Vibes Festival.
Ooh.
What do there's going to be Polynesian artists and rappers there, right?
J Boog's going to be there.
Rikishi Entertainment, live pro wrestling.
Pro wrestling's going to be there. I believe it starts at 1 p.m.
We got a stacked card.
Yeah, it's going to be great. You know what I mean? And Major Vibes, big shout out to Major Vibes. They have never, ever had a professional wrestling show as a part of the concert.
Word.
Right? And, this is one of my things I've been thinking about a long time, right? Because let's just say, look at WrestleMania. They got bands on there, music / with wrestling, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I've always known that this idea can work if it's given an opportunity to present itself. And so when an opportunity presented, for me, I'm being honored as a Lifetime Achievement Award.
Right. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But here again, Kishi's thinking about, instead of myself, I'm thinking about everybody there.
Right.
Right? How cool is it to be able to represent, give opportunity to some of these youngsters?
Mm-hmm.
We got the Tonga twins that were on WOW.
Right.
They're going to be there. We got AJ Mana, who's another Polynesian. We got Viva Van, the first Vietnamese wrestler, and she's been AEW and New Japan Pro Wrestling. We got Leua from, she's originally from Hawaii.
Yeah.
And so we got, yourself. You're going to get in there. I haven't seen you in the Rock and Roll. What is that?
The Rock and Rodeo Express, baby cakes.
Rock and Rodeo Express.
That's it.
Big shout out to
Hillbilly.
The Hillbilly, right? And
man,
so,
it's going to be so fun.
Exactly. So we're going to do that at 1 p.m. And then we're going to turn around. We have some autograph signings, some merchandise for the fans to come out. But I'm really excited because I haven't did a signing in front of my Polynesian culture fans. It's been a long time, and it's just because the, scheduling on my side didn't permit when the time they were running their event. So I'm really looking forward to meeting Jay Boog, who's one of my all-time
That's got to be
favorites.
a collab that's got to happen.
Jay Boog?
Yes, you and Jay Boog has got to happen.
I'm usually not too nervous to work with anybody.
What?
But Jay Boog, I'll probably be damn sweating. Boy.
What?
Yeah, I'll be sweating.
Method Man is hitting you up, and you're just like, yeah, that's all good.
But to Jay Boog, like he's
huge in the Samoan community. Yeah,
he's being honored too as well.
Wow.
So
okay,
and I've been a big fan of of Jay Boog, and also our iconic guy, Fiji, the one and only Fiji. He's also going to be there as well. So it's going to be a beautiful thing. So make sure you guys go to majorvibes.com.
Okay.
Go ahead and get your tickets. It drops for May 18th. It's going to go down, or you can go on there and just click on the link. It'll show you all the, the time, the details. They're going to have booths over there. They're going to have all kind. I can't wait to go try up all the Polynesian foods that they're going to have there. They're going to have all kind of swag, like different, island hoodies. You can get probably some ula fala that we have here. There are all kind of Polynesian stuff, and just to listen to some real good Polynesian music. And I also want to send a shout before I forget. That's part of the event of Major Vibes. There also Lifetime Achievement Award is Mauso Domara Peko.
Okay.
For NFL. He's going to be there as well. So, big shout out to those. Big shout out to everybody that's been involved with the Major Vibes, man. It's going to be awesome.
This sounds like a major event that everyone do what you got to do to get there. SoCal, you got to fly in, drive up, do what you got to do. This is going to be a huge event, and it's going to be a really good day. You got the good vibes going. You got the live pro wrestling. You got vendors. There's a lot going on. So please tap in and check out Big Kish at the Major Vibes Festival, and he's getting honored with a Lifetime Achievement Award. So big ups to that, Big Kish. You guys absolutely deserve it, man.
Thank you, man. You guys come on and let's all celebrate together for
yes, sir. So we're gonna change gears a little bit here, man. So there was quite a few WWE releases within the last week or so.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of customary after WrestleMania. They're gonna try to cut budgets for the year coming up.
Yeah.
The most
sound like you work in the office.
No.
It's kind of the normal we do.
I just been fired from every job myself. So I hear when I see it, it stands out.
All of that. Come hire Joey.
I got fired.
Hire Joey Gaten to be on your on the board of TKO. The Rock. I want you to hire TMD.
I wouldn't pass the drug test.
Yeah. Give me a yeet. All right. So.
I'm just kidding. Yes, I would. Yes, I would. Yeah, right. Told him myself.
Sound like Kishi Kush.
Which I'm waiting for, by the way. I'm waiting for the Kishi Kush.
It's gonna be a little bit over there.
Don't threaten me.
It's gonna be a little bit over there at the Major Vibes. Yeah. A little sample of the Kish.
Yeah, can I get just a little bit?
Just a little bit.
Please, a little bit. I can take it home with me.
All right, so okay, tell me who got released.
There were some WWE releases. I'm not even going to try to announce because I'm going to get roasted for it. But
who cares?
The most, I know, right?
It's our radio show. We can roast whoever we want to.
The most notable name who got released was Jinder Mahal. And I just want your take. What do you think about Jinder Mahal getting released from the WWE? Do you think he can end up somewhere else? Because he had a fall. I mean, he had somewhat of a online beef with Tony Khan, so maybe he won't go to AEW. But
really?
Where do you see somebody like Jinder Mahal ending up at?
Well, he's a good hand. Mm-hmm. I'm surprised they released him. I've always liked Jinder Mahal. Big fan of his, but it shouldn't. A guy at that caliber. A guy that can work like that, it's pretty easy for him to get a job wherever he wants it. He had a pretty good, decent, long run up in WWE, so right. I don't really see him. Does he have to go anywhere? You know what I mean? If it was me, I'd take like 5 years off. Especially you've been up there for a minute, pounding your body and so forth. I'll just relax. I'll go shoot some movies in Bollywood or something. You know what I mean? I mean, he's got that. He's got that
physique.
The physique. He's got the reputation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's well known.
Former WWE superstar. Absolutely. Yeah.
So big shout, man. I'm sorry to hear that, but hey, that's the way love goes. That's what my girl Janet Jackson is. That's the way love goes. Damn, we sound horrible. Christ. All right, Janet, I didn't mean to. We didn't mean to just kibosh your song.
What was your advice to these superstars who've been released? Because sometimes they get hard back, sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
What would be your advice to all these people who just got released?
Well, number one, I hope you saved your money. You know what I mean? We say this all the time. You can be hired today for WWE and be gone tomorrow before you wake up for the alarm clock. It's just the way it is, right? But if you get in there and you work you really make your strategic moves, politicking when politicking's supposed to be done. Right? But then you got to back up that politicking with your worker ticking. Mm-hmm. I just made up some word. Worker ticking. Right? You got to be able to be a worker ticker to be able to politic it and keep your job a ticking. So I don't know those other cats that got released and whoever else got, but good luck to y'all. I want y'all to go out there and just be all you can be. Welcome to the outlaw.
There it is.
Because here's where it gets gritty. When you're out here, don't be going out there and charging promoters like $5,000 just because you came from WWE. You know how that works. They'll go to an independent show and they want to charge the promoter like that much. Oh, $5,000, but who are you?
Right.
I was on WWE. You didn't see me? Hell no, I didn't see you. Like, why would I want to give you this? Like. But they would only get when you get that mark money, they'll pay for it.
That's right.
Right? They'll probably the let me see. I think they would probably go after. I'm speaking promoters they'll probably want to go after their gear. Mm-hmm. Was there a female that got released?
Yes.
Well, they'll probably want her thong.
Brother, somewhere out there, absolutely.
There's some filthy ass promoters out there. Dude.
Oh, absolutely. There's somewhere.
You already know that. Them
guaranteed.
Boy, there's some dirty Harry promoters out there. You know what I mean? And they'll put all together their savings to try to get this whatever chick to come up there, or just because they came out of WWE. But
I think they call them
y'all smarten up.
Simps. That's what they call them nowadays.
We can call them whatever the hell we want to call them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But if you got released, something happened. You don't just get released just to get released. Either you opened your mouth, or you did something wrong, or you didn't do nothing right, or you just might have, loose lips sink ships.
Mm-hmm.
You might have said something to the wrong person who you thought it was your best friend. That person went back and stewed your ass out.
So Adam Pearce pretty much put out a post basically telling everybody, you got fired because of you. Not him, not her, the man or the woman in the mirror. That's why you got fired.
Oh, is that what he said?
Yeah, because there was a video, forgive me, I don't know the wrestler's name.
What is Adam Pearce to the company?
He's an agent. He's an agent.
Okay, but on TV, he's a...
He didn't make it to the main roster, but he did a lot of work with NWA. He did a lot of indies, really big name on indies, and they took him for his knowledge, so he has a backstage role with WWE.
No, well, good for Adam.
And he pretty much said what you would have said. So, I can definitely say you'd probably co-sign what he said. Basically, is you got to do the work. You didn't do something. You didn't do enough of something. That's why you got let go. So don't blame nobody else, yada, yada, yada.
You got to stand up for what you believe in, man. That's been always our motto, man. You know what I mean?
That's right.
We believe in the work. We believe we can deliver. I'd rather get fired for opening up my mouth for something I believe in than to get fired just for not saying what I should have said.
Right.
So there it is.
We're going to take one more quick commercial, and when we come back, I want to ask you about Ronda Rousey. We'll be right back with more Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu.
Yeah.
Rikishi Fatu, Off the Top. We're coming right back.
All right, we are back with more Off the Top with Rikishi Fatu. So Ronda Rousey's been in the wrestling news as of late. She's releasing a biography, an autobiography. And, of course, she talks about her time in the WWE, and it didn't sound like it went so well. But she also did a podcast with Steve-O, and I just wanted to run this quote by you, and I just want to see what your take is on it.
Right.
These are her words. If I wrestle from now on, I'm just going to do it on an indie show where I can wrestle for as long as I want and prepare for as long as I want and do whatever moves I want to do and just do it with my friends and take all the anxiety out of it because it's just so needlessly stressful and dangerous the way they, WWE, do it. And there's more. Lastly, you can do such better matches if you're allowed to prepare and rehearse, and you can't try something new that you haven't done with somebody before. I kind of botched that last spot, but
I think I see
you're picking. So my take, my question to you is, what do you think about that?
Listen, girl. This right here. Obviously, you haven't been trained correctly. That wrestling is, you're talking about just going out there to do whatever move you want to do. First of all, I want to know for sure, can you do the move that you want to do? And is it safe for me to take it? In this industry, you might, we all want to work with our best friends all the time. We all want to work with people that are good, blah, 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 and have fun. But sometimes in the industry, most of the times, we're going to work with those that make sense as far as putting asses in seats. So, if I was Ronda's coach, I would have never let her put out a post like that because she just sounds so bitter. And what it tells me is that she wasn't trained properly. I wish she would have came here to Knox Pro Academy, and I would have broke it down to where she understands how it works inside the ring and outside the ring. It's totally different from coming from MMA, UFC into professional wrestling. And when you come from that industry into a whole new industry it's not only wrestling, it's the traveling, UFC, what, do they travel 200 days out their years? Hell no. And so when you come from that and you come to this, and then now you're out on the road, now you have a family, now you don't know how to adapt to that, there's pressure there, then you're in the ring, everybody that's in there, they're probably putting the professionals to work with her because she's one of our main stars, and we got to make this girl look like she can work. Ronda, that's the key word, work, right? I don't want you grabbing my goddamn neck and just squeezing the hell out of my neck, have my eyeballs pop out my ass, and my ears just bleeding and so forth. I want somebody who knows how to work.
Right.
And so, for you to be bitter like that, I'm sorry that you're bitter like that. I'm sure you signed a very, very well contract during negotiations with WWE. That's how bad WWE wanted you during the time, because it just made business sense. And then for you to be out there, there's a lot of girls that work with Ronda. Natalie. There's some of the other OGs, Charlotte. I'm sure every person in there that were on top or that has a name of the company that has tried to help this girl. So whatever the the bad vibes that she has towards the company, like I said, hey, now you got a taste of what we go through. Now you got a taste of how it is the sacrifice of being away 200 something days out the year. You got a taste of, you feel like you're being slaved out. It's not that. It's just what the job demands as being a professional wrestler. You signed the dotted line. You agreed to everything, whatever type of negotiations you're having. And so, hey, take your bag and go home now. Don't knock the business that gave you an opportunity, because all they did was just give you an opportunity, tried to be the best, to work the best with you, and whatever happened just fell through the cracks. So, I like Ronda. I think she has a lot of athletic ability that could have turned into a positive in the professional wrestling industry. But, when you have a lot of people, that's in your ear and who knows. See, that's probably something that she didn't train for. You get other people that's, the jealousy, what happens behind the curtain. Those same people that's giving negative to your ear are probably the same damn people couldn't wait for you to get fired. So she probably didn't understand that because, the wrestling vibes it comes every which way. It comes left, right, up, down. I mean, if you don't understand and see this coming a mile away,
right,
well, how can you adapt to it? How do you know what to fight, what to say if you don't understand what you're looking at and understand what you're hearing? It might be a rib. It might be this. It might be that. That's the part of the training that the Bloodline, the Dynasty, we know it all. When I say we know it all, dude, you couldn't come with us with no stupid at the end of the day, we going to stand up and we going to back it up. Why? Because we just that got good. That's why. And if anybody can prove us wrong, go ahead. Step up to the plate. Bloodline is the timeline. Come on with it. So, long story short, Ronda Rousey, you up. Take your ball, take your bag, run home, go ahead and enjoy your time with your family, but don't knock the females, don't knock the wrestlers of WWE that, open arms to you and helped you out, during the time. I'm sorry, I don't know where you went to get trained, but had your ass come here to Knox Pro, I guarantee you would have learned from head to toe, girl. You would have been so smart, you would have seen it coming a mile away. Probably you would have been still there till today. It's called negotiation. It's called learning to perfect your craft. And that's my take on this Ronda Rousey.
And there it is. It don't get better than that, Jack. Big Kish.
Yes, sir.
It's been a great one. I got to get going. I know you got to get going. Hey, yo, do you have any final words?
Well, you know what? As always, it's free to be kind. And always remember to smarten up. And I'm out.
All right.
How does Joey look? Does Joey look hot there? Or?
No. Always look
hot. You look hot?
Always.
Okay, I want his forehead to be burning while...
Hotter than a stolen pistol.
Yeah.